Hey bro, how you going? Yeah, not too much man, nothing too exciting. Just been having a lot of trouble at work lately. Yeah, like, there's just been this, one of these senior nurses and she's been really having a rough time with me, just always up me about something. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure because, like, anytime I'm with her and she's the nurse in charge, she gives me the hardest patient load. Like, I don't want to come off as being like, you know, one of those new grads that, like, you know, they complain and think they know everything. But it's just like, it's been so hard, like, just, I'm still getting my bearings around the ward and I've got such a tricky patient load. And, like, the patients themselves are great, but it's just they're very heavy to take. I'm coming straight out of uni and she doesn't really seem to be much sympathetic towards me. And yeah, she's just giving me a real rough time. Like, it's gotten to the point now where I'm just calling in sick if I know she's on that shift with me. And like, that's causing problems with the missus at home because I'm home more with her and then it's affecting our financial income. So yeah, I don't really know what to do at the moment. Yeah, well, get this part. Yeah, the same one. She's been sending me emails of junior nurses getting beaten up and pushed around by senior nurses. Yeah, no joke. I'm not, seriously. Yeah, it's the same one. No, well, I thought about that. I thought about going to the NUM because the NUM's really good. Yeah, I get on with it pretty well, but I thought that I would probably just, you know, let it, you know, dissipate organically and hopefully things would change. I thought it was maybe the tattoos as well, but I wore long sleeves and that didn't fix anything. She still had a crack at me anytime we're in the room together. Yeah, so I don't know if it's just something that she just does with everybody, it's just tradition on the ward, or if it's an actual personal problem that's going to get bigger. So I'm going to give it a bit more time before I actually see if I can take it further. But yeah, I'll see how it goes. Yeah, well anyway, yeah, I got to get to start my shift now. Yeah, no, we'll do. Take it easy, mate. I'll catch you later. Alright, bye. Oh, g'day, Carmina. I didn't know you were working today.
How are you, Matt?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you doing?
Good. Well, I got called in this afternoon, and no one else would like to work with a new grad.
Okay, fair enough. What are we doing today then?
Well, today I'm going to give you 5 patients.
Okay. I don't. Oh my God, Smith Jones Robinson. Look, I'm happy to take. I'm fine with the low, but those 5 together, I don't know if it's probably most appropriate for me to have that 5 together on this shift because I've had them last week with you and I did struggle quite a bit. They're quite a handful to have all those. Like, I could take maybe Smith and Jones, those 2, and then maybe 210 and 211. Like, but those 5 together, I think it's just going to be a bit too much for me to handle.
Look, I'm giving you 5 patients because it's just fair for everyone else. Not because you're a new grad. It doesn't mean you're going to get it easy. Well, it's only fair. You get as much patients as everyone else, and besides, it's good that you get complex patients as well. It's a good training for you.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Don't be a baby nurse. Hi, Julia.
Hey, Carmina, how are you?
Good. Well, I'm having a problem with this. You know that new nurse?
Oh, you're talking about that baby nurse?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, I'll give him 5 patients today. And you know what? I think because he's a new grad, I'll go easy on him.
Oh, he's always asking questions. It's like, he's such a baby. He just needs to go back to uni.
I know. Tell me about it. You know what? I have found something. It's going to be funny. But if we send this photo to him, what do you think?
Oh my God, that's so hilarious. Do it, go.
I will, it's so funny.
Such a baby nurse.
I know, he is a baby
Oh,
nurse,
and
isn't
his
he?
tattoos, my God.
I just can't stand that guy.
No, oh.
Yes. I don't know, I just don't like him at all.
Oh.
And those tattoos, I hate those tattoos.
Hey Lana, how you going?
Oh, hi Matt, how are you?
Good, thanks. You busy at the moment? There's something I really need to talk to you about.
No, I'm not busy. Take a seat.
Oh, thank
What's
you.
going on?
Well, first of all, you know that I really like working here, and I love working under you as the NUM as well.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, but so far there's been a real problem with me working with Carmina. Ever since I've gotten here, she's insisted on calling me baby nurse, and I thought maybe at first this was just, you know, a little bit of harmless banter or whatever, but it's just been persistent and it's getting worse. And as of late, she's been giving me a really hard patient load, and it's starting to become a little too much for me.
Alright, well that doesn't sound very good. Have you tried to speak to Carmina about the problems that you're experiencing?
I did actually, coincidentally, just earlier. I didn't know she was going to be working today, but yeah, she's out there, and we did have a discussion about, I voiced my concerns to her, how I thought that the patient load might be a little bit beyond my current capabilities, and she was just very dismissive and very belittling to my concerns.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not too sure what to do, because it's gotten to the point now where I'm feeling impacted at work and also at home, and that's not okay. I'm not looking to make trouble, but yeah, it's just become to the point where it's gotten too out of hand for me.
Alright, Matt. Well, I can see that you are upset. I'm sorry that you are experiencing these problems with Carmina. Look, I don't want you to go back on the ward at the moment being upset, so if you'd like to take a break, and I'll look over the patient load, and I'll try and make some changes for today. And then if we could meet back later on this afternoon to discuss the situation further. By that stage, I'll have had a chance to speak to Carmina about what you brought up today with me, and then it'll also give me a chance to speak to a high level of management. So I think that I need to do that so that we can discuss the process of mediation within the situation. How do you feel about that?
That sounds fair enough. Okay.
Oh, that's good. Well, you go take a break.
Yeah, we'll do. All right. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll come and get you later on. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Lana.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. The debrief model we are using today is the SHARP model from the Imperial College London 2014. SHARP is an acronym of the 5 principles of the model, which are set the learning objectives, H for how did it go, A for address the concerns, R for review the learning points, and P for plan ahead. The purpose of a debrief is to enable participants to reflect on, examine and discuss a specific event that has taken place to gain a more in-depth understanding and appreciation of knowledge related to the situation so they can acquire skills for future nursing practice. The role, Wickers 2010. The role of the debriefer is to foster dialogue to help participants explore and recognise gaps in learning and bridge them to future performances. Gardner 2013. So for the learning objectives, Carmina, what were your learning objectives for this role play?
Well, my learning objectives, as a senior nurse in this role, my character was bullying the newly graduated RN, which was Matt's character. My learning objective in this role play is found that to resolve the conflict between Matt and I.
And Matt, what were your learning objectives for this role play?
As the student, well not student, as the new graduate, my learning objective was to display the correct and professional way on how to seek resolution of an interpersonal conflict in the workplace.
And mine, I played the role of the acting NUM, and my learning objectives were to diffuse Matt's emotions by acknowledging his comments and informing him that actions will take place, as the ultimate goal was for the NUM is to resolve the conflict. Carmina, how did it go for you in this role play?
Well, in this role play, how my character acted towards Matt was inappropriate. I found it inappropriate and unprofessionally, which could have possibly lead to negative impact not only on Matt's work performance, but it could as well as compromise the quality of care of patients and his personal relationship.
Yeah. And Matt, how did it go for you?
I thought it went quite well. I mean, I voiced my grievances in a professional manner. I didn't raise my voice at anyone. When I was speaking to my friend on the phone, I ensured that I maintained confidentiality, never naming the nurse who I was talking about or any of the patients to my friend on the phone. Therefore, I was putting the patients as a top priority, as I felt that my level of experience was going to impede their care. So.
Okay. For myself, I felt that I did acknowledge Matt's feelings, and in fact it made me recognise that it is as important for a nursing unit manager to have people management skills as it is to have clinical nursing skills. For any, for addressing concerns, Carmina?
Well, my main concern is role play. Was the negative impact caused by bullying to Matt, and well, bullying is unacceptable in the workplace. Anyone who is subject to bullying should report this. Should report it to their manager, so it can be properly addressed. It must be addressed before it can lead to serious consequences. And my character in this role had crossed a professional boundary by behaving inappropriately and professionally, and this could lead for me to a disciplinary action or perhaps termination of my employment as well.
And for Matt, for your address of concerns?
Yeah, so I put forward my concerns and escalated the situation to the appropriate person, being that of the acting NUM. I first tried to let the situation dissipate on its own momentum, but when that failed, in order to ensure the best for myself, both professionally and as well as personally, I voiced my grievances to the appropriate people, and hopefully that would resolve the situation.
For my concerns, I did address Matt's feelings at this stage, but I hadn't addressed the problem, as I needed to discuss with Carmina her actions in the situation. Also, as the acting and NOM in the role play, it wasn't evident that I actually had a friendship with Carmina. So I would have had to been, as acting NUM, would have had to been aware of my own emotions and feelings in the situation because of the friendship. And because of this, it would have been critical to consult with a higher level of management so that bias could be removed from the conflict. For reviewing learning points, what did you have, Carmina?
At the end of the role play, the learning objective has not yet been met. However, if I was in a real situation, after knowing how my behavior had affected Matt, I would have tried to apologize and be more professional, and so we can avoid conflict in the future.
Yep. And Matt, your review learning points?
Yeah, well, I think I gained a pretty thorough understanding on how to appropriately address an interpersonal conflict in the workplace, and how to address it in a way that was professional, open, and also maintain privacy at all times. I feel as if the learning objective was met in that regards, to addressing the conflict and escalating it appropriately in hope of gaining a resolution.
For myself, as the acting nursing unit manager, I am still learning my own role, and because of that, I would have needed to consult with a higher level of management. And also at this stage, the learning objectives have met with regards to diffusing Matt's emotions, but the ultimate goal of resolving the conflict has not yet been met. For planning ahead, what would you do to plan ahead in this situation again?
To plan ahead, so staff members should learn, we should all learn to be more self-aware, use emotional intelligence, and work together to improve productivity and deliver high quality of patient care. If being subjected to bullying, we should report it to our manager. So, and always keep journal for yourself as well. And it's important that you have that evidence against someone who is bullying you. And so if you need that, if you ever you need that in the future, it can be appropriately managed.
And for Matt, how would you plan ahead?
Well, I think that to sort of dwell on what Carmina mentioned, in the workplace, there's always going to be, you're going to be working with a lot of different people with a lot of differences. You're going to have to learn to sort of adjust to those differences. For example, you're working with people who are from a different generation. They may not like tattoos on the younger nurses. That's just a generational difference. It doesn't have to result in bullying. So you have to sort of find that grey line, try and just find that balance as to what is just a difference, to which you can still work professionally and provide the best patient care, and uphold a safe work environment for everyone, as opposed to what's just a difference, because you can't distinguish differences and actual bullying. So yeah.
Okay, and for me, for planning ahead, as Matt just said, be prepared for conflict. It is going to happen. there's nothing we can do about it, but we can be prepared for it. And as an acting nursing unit manager, you should learn about all types of conflict that are commonly encountered in the healthcare setting, and take courses in conflict management strategies so that you can address and effectively resolve conflict. By learning conflict management strategies, an acting NUM is able to recognise conflict early warning signs and take the first steps towards resolution. Also learn about my own emotions and personal interactions with others, which can affect these kinds of situations, and that's also an effective strategy to have, as Carmina said, more self-awareness of, or more, yeah, anyway. And what have we learned from this debrief?
So what I learned in this debrief, it allows me to understand that being a bully, it affects not just the persons that you've been bullying, personal relationships, the emotional. This could also affect and how they perform their work. And in a clinical setting, it is very important that we avoid bullying, because it can affect not only the person of the bullying, but their patients as well.
And for you, Matt?
I think having done this and the debrief, it really hits home that you're not alone in the workplace, that confrontation and conflict is natural in any profession, let alone nursing. But what's important to know is that there are support networks there, and there are procedures and there are responsibilities of people put in place to ensure that there is a resolution available. It's not just a dead end. So yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's our end of our debrief.